महाबात्या परे थैथान नहीं जितेबाला ओडिशा संघर्ष करुला सेतेबेले वाजपेयी सरकार ओडिशा को नुआ राज्यपाल भाव देते MM राजेंद्रन को तांकरी समय रे मुख्यमंत्री भाव शपथ नहीं नवीन पट्टनायक आज पुणी थे आम आम गहन में पाई आम आलोचना करवा से महाबात्यार अनुभूति शुणा एवं सेतेबेलर नवीन सरकार आ वर्तमान नवीन सरकार भितर कौन डिफरेंस से देखुं से विषय को आम जाना। सर वेलकम टू ओडिशा एंड वेलकम टू OTV। सर आफ्टर सुपर साइक्लोन इन 99 you are shown in as governor of Odisha. How challenging it was to tackle the aftermath of super cyclone and how your experience helped Odisha?
See, I have handled the Super Cyclone. No, it was not called Super Cyclone then. It was called the Dhanushkodi Cyclone in Ramanathapuram. It was also a very bad cyclone, and which the entire bridge connecting the mainland to Rameswaram Island was washed away. The rail bridge over which the trains used to go, that whole bridge was washed away. And one train that was steaming from Rameswaram to Dhanushkodi, the whole train was washed away in the floods. The two seas in the north of the Rameswaram Island and the south of the Rameswaram, the two seas joined, and the train driver did not realize it, and he was driving through that. The whole train was drowned and washed away. About 500 people in the train were totally lost. And the kind of rehabilitation that we had to do, relief and rehabilitation, it gave me a great experience in handling such a major disaster. It had affected people about 30-40 miles north of Rameswaram and south of Rameswaram. So all that relief work and rehabilitation work, it gave me excellent experience. And that had been recorded by the then Chief Minister in my personal file, the excellent work I did. And that caught the attention of Vajpayee ji when he was looking at my papers and looking for a suitable governor for Odisha, because no reflection on whoever was the Chief Minister at that time, because they felt they were sort of overwhelmed by the situation which they had never faced before and needed help. So he went and met the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister told him, I'm sending an experienced administrator to you. You do what he says, listen to him. So that kind of mandate was given to me. And Gamang ji also knew, and he fully abided by the instructions of the Prime Minister. We had no problem either with him or with Hemananda Biswal, who became Chief Minister later. And my leadership for the government, so far as the super cyclone and its relief and rehabilitation was concerned, I had full responsibility, and the entire government machinery was helping me to do that. And that went on till the very last few works that had to be completed. And as I was telling, that Remembrance Day which they wanted to celebrate or observe, it can't be celebration. I said, you call it the Disaster Preparedness Day and evolve a disaster preparedness plan. In fact, Odisha was the first state to do that, and many other states followed that. And that disaster preparedness plan has helped the governments in the future to be fully prepared for any natural calamity that took place. And this has been taken note of by even the international media when subsequently, many years later, a very severe cyclone hit Odisha, and there were only less than 10 deaths, if I remember right, 10 or 12. Unlike in the case of this cyclone, super cyclone, the death toll was more than 8,000. One whole village was submerged in water. And the cyclone shelters that were put up, that were mostly put up by our state Red Cross. I was also president of the Red Cross of the state. We got Red Crosses from different countries of the world to help us with finances and put up those 30 cyclone shelters. And then they were of great value when any natural calamity struck the coastal area. as far as the Super Cyclone is concerned, we also got help from many other states in getting cattle which have been lost replaced, in getting beetle wine and coconuts. Whatever we got were all very high quality. So that we used this opportunity to upgrade the quality of whatever we had in Odisha.
Sir, at that time, there was no technology, that much technology, no connectivity, road connectivity. What was the most challengeable thing to rehabilitate?
What do you mean by technology?
Uh, Technology means there was no connectivity. There was not that much of connectivity.
Those days in connectivity all over India was poor, 99. There was only in the major urban centers. As far as Bhubaneswar was concerned, it is completely cut off. We were only dependent on satellite telephones. That's the only way we could handle things. And there were very few satellite telephones. So connectivity was very poor in those days. And
How you handle this situation?
no, mostly by direct handling. That's the only way it could be handled. As far as the immediate relief was concerned, some were sent by trucks, but many trucks got waylaid and people just looted them. Then we did a lot of airdropping. So, airdropping of the basic needs of life to keep them alive, that was done. If I remember right, it was all chuda and jaggery. That was the kind of stuff that we were dropping, and people were grateful for it. We were dropping them from the helicopter. They wanted the helicopter to land, but we thought there was no purpose in landing because there was nothing more we could do by handling, going and directly landing there. So whatever best we could do, we did.
At your tenure as governor, Navin Patnaik became the CM of Odisha. From that day, his party is ruling Odisha. Recently, you met Navin Patnaik. Yesterday you met him. Then Navin Patnaik government and now Navin Patnaik government. What the difference you are seeing?
I have not seen the present government. How can I say anything?
Any changes you have seen?
See, I have not got into that working of the government now. Maybe the present governor can tell you, but I don't know what the present government is like. But I see a lot of improvements have taken place. Like, for example, this university was not there. It has grown. Maybe the efforts of the President Manoranjan Nayak and others, like Damodar Acharya and Ashok, they all have been responsible for the growth. So there must have been also some support provided by the government. In my time, KIT was there. When I came in 2017, KIT had invited me to visit their campus and give a lecture. I talked to the tribal students. That is very close to the heart of Samantha. So KIT has grown. In fact, I was telling them that you have to broaden your vision. They were having it only as an information technology. They made it then industrial technology. So KIT became Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology. And now they have added the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. And there is a medical college, dental college, and all that. And it's become a deemed university like this. So, like that, a lot of changes have taken place. As you enter the airport, when you disembark from the plane and come into the airport, we see totally different airport now. This is almost of international standards. So I was very happy about it that it has taken place in Bhubaneswar.
And then that time, sir.
I don't think that state government is involved in that. They might have provided some support. Basically, it is the effort of the Indian Airports Authority. So they would have done that with spending a lot of money, but all without support of state government, nothing would have been possible.
Sir, any dreams you saw for Odisha till now it has not fulfilled?
Can you tell me what happened to Swarnarega irrigation project? See, this is something which I have been sponsoring, and where I had identified that as one project which, with a minimum investment, you can get the maximum return, because 90% of the funds have already been spent, because a small little work had not been completed on the Jharkhand side. We were not having the water coming. The head works had not been completed. And here the canal works had not been completed, but canal works, even if they are completed without the water coming from there, will not be of any help. If that project had been completed, according to my estimate, 110,000 hectares would have been benefited. Till I left, it had not happened. Though I was frequently reminding, see, after all, as governor has got his limitations. You cannot directly do things. You can suggest advice. And we had also our warrior man, Arjun Sethi, as the irrigation minister. He was also very cooperative. But somehow it didn't take off during my time. So what is it today? I didn't ask Naveen Patnaik, what have you done with the Swarnarega project? I thought I should not ask him that kind of question, because I am not governor today, and ask him that would not be proper. So I didn't ask him.
Any suggestions for government of Odisha?
No, this one, if it's not been completed, I think that's a project which should be completed at all times. And then water conservation in the western areas, very important. And then utilization of water sources. See, one of the important reasons why agriculture in Odisha has not taken great strides is because the water availability is limited only during the monsoon time. Other times, water gets flown away. So you have floods in Mahanadi, but soon after you'll find dry areas not having water. So if you can harness waters in all areas, that would be a great benefit for the poor farmers, and also introduction of new varieties of paddy and cash crops which can withstand a certain amount of dry periods, like arid cultivation. All that would help. So basically utilization of water. And then one thing I had done was with the Mahanadi coalfields. They were, that's not under the state government. It's a government of India public sector. But I had taken so much interest that the MD of Mahanadi coalfields periodically would come and report to me what they are doing. And I had told them that you are loving all your surplus. We are making a lot of profits here. They're sending all the money to Calcutta, to the Coal India Limited, which is the holding company. I said, no, this should be utilized for the benefit of the state. You expand your project in the state, give more employment to our people. So that and produce more coal and more royalty to the state. And just about 2 weeks before I was to demit office, the MD of Mahanadi Coalfields came and told me that the Coal India has accepted my suggestion, and they are going to allow me to keep all the profits here and utilize it for developing Mahanadi Coalfields. I'm sure that's a decision which would have helped Mahanadi Coalfields to develop in a very fast manner, providing all benefits to the state of Odisha.
Sir, my last question. Service Uninterrupted. What Service Uninterrupted, your book, what inspired you to write this book, and what we can see about Odisha in this book?
You see a lot of Odisha in the book. In fact, 55% of the book is written on Odisha. And what inspired me to write? I had been thinking about it and gave it up. See, I had a lot of notes on Odisha. And I had some notes as Chief Secretary I had kept. But the rest of it all from memory. For a person who was past 80 to only depend on memory, it was not that easy. But God helped me to recollect so many things which I was able to put down. And whatever I have put down is all my own writing, no ghost writing. I didn't employ anybody to write for me, which many people do. And I was able to do it on my own. And what inspired me was that, coming from a very ordinary background, even the lower middle income group, you may say, but not born with a silver spoon, by your own hard work and with the blessings and guidance of your parents, you can come up in life and be able to do things for the benefit of others. Now, this message I wanted other people to know so that they will also do it, particularly the younger generation. I wanted them to know how they can also do a lot more things in life if only they have the dedication and willingness to do it. Not that I am a great example of that, but I, in my own small way, I have tried. As I mentioned in the preface to my book, I gave an assurance before the chairman of the Union Public Service Commission, who selected me and gave me the rank. I told him that many others would have said the same thing to you, but I work for the people of the country. I want to do service. I said, yes, many people have told me this, but I wish you keep it up.
थैंक यू वेरी मच आपण मैंने शुणुते जे जिते महाबात्या 1999 महाबात्या मुकाबला सार कौन अवदान थिला कौन सब पदक्षेप नि ओडिशा जदि आप देखिए ओडिशार विकास आउ कौन कौन सब पदक्षेप आवश्यक कौटी समस्या रोचे कौन करागले ओडिशार विकास संभव हो पार ये विषय में आम सीधा सड़क शुणुते MM राजेंद्रन ठारू भुवनेश्वर कैमरा पर्सन सरोज कपिलेन्द्र प्रधान OTV।